When I was 15, the biggest thrill in my life was staying up way too late. My friend Dana was sleeping over for the weekend, and we had basically barricaded ourselves in my bedroom on the second floor. Our mission for the night was simple: finishing a whole box of cookies and suffer through to terrible horror movies. And we succeeded at both. By around 2 a.m., we finally shut off the lights. My grandparents owned the house, and it was the kind of old place where every tiny sound echoed like footsteps in a cathedral. Once everything went quiet, the silence felt thick. Then it happened. A sharp, deliberate rap tap tap on my bedroom door. Dana froze instantly with her eyes wide. I just rolled mine. "Relax," I whispered. "That's just Grandpa. If he thinks we're up too late, he knocks on the door to freak us out. He thinks it's funny." To prove it, I got up and padded down the hallway. I peeked into my grandparents' room. Both of them were asleep, snoring loudly in that unbothered, heavy way older people do. There was no way either of them had gotten up without us hearing it. Confused, I shrugged it off. Old houses always make weird noises, right? I slipped back into bed, without saying anything to Dana. I barely got my head on the pillow when a voice drifted into the room. It was tiny and fragile, like the voice of a 4-year-old child, and it came from right outside my window. "I don't like it here anymore. I want to go home," the tiny voice said. A cold shiver shot straight through me. Every hair on my arm stood up. Dana bolted upright. "Did you hear that?" he whispered, his voice tight and shaking. Yeah, I said slowly. "You heard it too. I wasn't dreaming." "No," he said, terrified. "It was a little girl, crying. She said she doesn't like it here." The fact that we both heard the exact same thing made everything feel suddenly real. Painfully real. We scrambled out of bed and decided to search the backyard, the bushes, even the empty street outside at 2 a.m. But we did not find any girl. Nothing but silence. We gave up and went back inside, crawling under the covers and praying morning would come quickly. But a few minutes later, the voice returned. This time it was closer, so close that it sounded like it was standing right at the foot of my bed. "I don't like it here. I want my mommy. Please let me out." "Let me out?" Dana mouthed, horrified. The only thing that had been knocked earlier was the door. We grabbed a flashlight and aimed it at the old wooden door, thinking it was being opened, but it was locked. That's when I remembered something awful. My bedroom wasn't always a bedroom. Decades ago, before the renovations, it had been the nursery for kids. The door didn't originally lead into the hallway. It used to open onto a narrow attic staircase. A staircase that was sealed up and plastered over about 50 years earlier. Suddenly the knocking made sense. And so did the voice. We crept to the door. I pressed my ear against the cold wood. Still I heard nothing. Then I looked at the brass doorknob and froze. Lightly carved into the paint beside the lock were the words, "Don't run away from me." My stomach dropped. Before I could say anything, the voice came a final time. And this time it was weak, breathless, and right from behind the door. We ran. We sprinted down the stairs so fast we nearly fell. And we didn't stop until we found my grandparents awake in the living room. I didn't tell them what the girl had said, but I did told my grandparents about the strange carving. My grandparents did not believe me and Dana. They said we are young and definitely saying rubbish. Since then, I never slept in that room again. And soon my grandparents discovered what I told them was true. So we invite our pastor to sanctify the room and the whole house. And after that, we never had any strange things again.